The state's AAA credit rating was once Labor's proudest boast, but now with a $2.8 billion budget black hole, the government is warning South Australians to expect a downgrade. Leah McLennan reports.
For Kevin Foley, it was the jewel in the crown.
31,000 new jobs, the lowest unemployment in a decade, a AAA credit rating, and all the Liberals want to do is knock, knock, knock.
But those were the Labor government's salad days before the global economic crisis. For some months now, the government has been working on softening the blow for when the AAA rating, apparently inevitably, gets downgraded.
If there's a choice between the AAA credit rating and jobs and investing in our future, I'll be taking investing in jobs and our future.
Credit ratings are given by international agencies such as Moody's and Standard & Poor's and are based on their assessments of the government's ability to make debt repayments. AAA is the highest you can get. A lower credit rating means higher interest rates on government borrowings, and that is something we all pay for, one way or another.
They give essentially you a rating for the robustness or otherwise of your finances and of your economy in order for investors to determine what interest rate to lend to you at. So it's about assessing risk that lenders have in lending to you. So when the government wants to borrow for the purposes of infrastructure, its repayments will be based in part upon assessments that lenders make about the credit rating that the credit ratings agencies give to you.
The Executive Director of the Australian Workplace Innovation and Social Research Centre, John Spear, says in the past Labor has made too much of the AAA rating. According to Treasury, markets are already treating the state's credit rating as AA+. John Spear says South Australia has relatively low debt levels, so a slightly lower credit rating won't have a huge impact.
It goes back, some 10 years, I think, in history, where the South Australian Commission of Audit, which was a creature of the former Liberal government, put a lot of store in the importance of a credit rating, and unfortunately they overemphasised, I think, what were the benefits of a AAA credit rating in practice. And the then government was hell-bent on getting a credit rating, a AAA credit rating, on the back of the state bank crisis. And then, of course, the incoming Labor government inherited that.
John Spear says he welcomes a more pragmatic view from the government in relation to the state's credit rating, a view that's shared by Adelaide businessman Theo Maris.
AAA credit rating is a wonderful thing if we can afford it. But really, what does a AAA credit rating mean to someone in our community that wants a job that needs to get on in life? It means nothing.
Over the past decade, with the national economy steaming along, the state government has enjoyed prosperous times, with large GST windfalls being poured into the state's coffers. But the global financial crisis has hit and the economy has slowed. So has GST revenue. Combined with state revenue falls, there's now an estimated $2.8 billion hole in the budget, though that doesn't mean the government is actually making do with less, just getting less than it was hoping for. Theo Maris says the government needs to promote growth by reducing taxes, especially land tax.
Is it the chicken or the egg? In my view, they have lost a lot of the share of taxes. But why have they lost it? They've lost it because the economy has slowed down. Now, if you want to get it back, you've got to boost the economy. There's no other way to get it. If the economy's not running, then how are you going to get taxes? You can't keep on creating new taxes for people to pay. What you've got to do is you've got to stimulate the economy.
My advice to governments in the current circumstance is to not run a surplus, to use expenditure to stimulate economic activity, keep people in jobs. That maintains confidence, that maintains money flowing around the South Australian economy at a time that we need it. So as much as they're able to, the state government would be wise to do that, resist the temptation to cut hard.
One thing everyone is pinning their hopes on is the expansion of the Olympic Dam mine, which still isn't a done deal.
It does appear that the global financial crisis and a lot of instability within the global economic system and uncertainty within China about their future demand for mineral ore and wider commodities, that BHP might be trading off between the various different projects that it has before them, and there may be some delay in the rolling out of the expansion of Olympic Dam. If that flows through, then that will flow through to a significant decline in revenue prospects to the state budget.
Leah McLennan reporting.